Welcome back, terrestrials.
In this episode, we're doing the last goddamn Rob Zombie movie, hopefully ever. 31. Let's
Right.
jump into the video store totals. I just want to get this over with. Um, Director Robert Cummings. Movie 31. Kills 16. Nudity. Yeah, somewhere. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
The budget was 1.5 million. I don't know where that money went. Um, but yeah, so
Decorations.
yeah, I guess. Renting out a fucking warehouse shouldn't cost 1.5 million. But yeah, let's hop into it. Jerry, what do you grade this piece of shit, this movie?
I'm gonna give it a B. Not a B
That's
plus, not a B
fucking
minus.
that's
I'm
fucking
giving it a
insane.
B.
Pull up your tier thing and look at the other movies that are on B list.
Right.
That's no. This movie
Okay.
is
Oh,
a
why? What do
solid.
you give it? What do
No,
you
yeah,
give it?
yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Uh, I'm going to give this movie a D.
D. Still
Yes.
passing grade. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Why?
Why?
What is
Because
your
this. All right.
hatred? What is
First
your
of all,
hatred?
I've had this gripe with this movie since forever.
Right.
Rob Zombie said he could write a horror movie in a night. Boom, wrote this movie.
Correct.
I don't like that. It rubs me the wrong way. It makes me feel like you're not putting effort into the movie.
Okay.
Number two, this movie is Running Man. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger's Running Man. The
Yeah, but
only
better.
difference, the only difference is they're not convicts, they're just
Right.
victims.
Right.
It's not a TV show, it's for rich people that are actually somewhat adjacent to where it's happening.
Right. The Illuminati.
The yeah, basically, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the secret society type shit.
Yeah.
Um the movie has no point. It's been done before, and there's nothing new or interesting with this movie. The all the characters are just whiny dickheads.
The
Everybody in that
victims or
van,
the
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 victims, well,
heads.
every pretty much everybody. The
Hmm.
Illuminati are just whiny dickheads. Everybody in that van is a whiny dickhead. Like it just, and then the actual movie, the actual killing, like no, like none of it entertained me. None of it was good. And look, I love Doomhead. I like that guy.
You're correct.
And I like Jeff Daniel Phillips or whatever, the whiny bitch from the van. I like those two
Okay.
characters. I like those as actors. I did not like them in this movie.
Okay.
The most entertaining thing about this movie was watching that LP be a Nazi. That shit was fucking hilarious. The way he antagonized everybody.
Yeah, he's like my second or third favorite character.
Yeah, outside of that guy
And
just literally antagonizing everybody, I didn't see
and
anything
also Rod Zombie having the balls to go, no, I want a Spanish little person
right to be
that
a Nazi.
that's a Nazi.
Yeah,
And like an over like a clown, like I like the heads. Okay. I don't know. It's something about it where I just kind of really enjoyed it. Like the B, okay, the positive on this for me, why I like a B. First of all, it this movie reads like the 70s, like a movie that was actually made in the 70s where it's like I don't know what's going on here. It's just shit is
you're just
happening that's
following.
fucking
Yeah,
like
okay.
okay, like you watch
Like Tourist Trap.
right, Tourist Trap or even like Escape from New York. It's
Right.
like I know kind of what, but like then they're like, and then he has to have a wrestling match or just some crazy
Yeah.
shit they throw
Yeah.
in movies because
Like
movies,
Running Man.
you know. Yeah, but Running Man was just a shit. Like Running Man is like this is better than Running Man, and I don't like Running Man.
Right.
Like
I'm
I
not
love
saying it's good. I'm just saying
right,
that
good.
this movie has been done before.
Correct. I mean, a lot of movies have been done
Yeah,
before,
but
as
Rob Zombie keeps blatantly ripping off other movies.
right.
Like
I
when
mean,
you
there's a
can watch a
lot.
movie and go, that movie's just like when we did what was that Fool's Love Paradise, where you were just like, that's Groundhog's Day.
Oh
That's
yeah, yeah, it's
Groundhog's Day.
Groundhog's Day.
You said it like 900
Or
times
the
throughout that
monsters
review.
party.
Yeah,
Monsters party, where it's like, this is
exactly.
just like don't breathe.
Exactly. It's the
Um,
exact same thing. When
right.
you can just like split second, like, no, this is just this movie. And
Mhm.
they don't try to hide it. They don't try to really
Oh
do
yeah, there's no
anything
hiding.
different.
Right.
Like, I don't like that. I don't, I,
Okay.
it's just
But
like,
if it's done better, like if I had to choose between fucking Sickhead and fucking Sub-Zero from fucking Running Man, I would definitely
right.
choose
But you got
Sickhead.
to understand that the 80s, like, you got to look at the time frame. Number
Right.
one, that illusion of like this movie feels like a 70s movie, that just that's Rob Zombie's thing.
Yeah,
He
I
puts the
know.
grindhouse filter on and makes
Right.
you think it's a 70s movie, and you go, man, I love old movies. No, you
Yeah.
just got tricked. It's just like, I'm over Rob Zombie, dude. I am
No, this
so
has to
over it.
be the
Like,
70s. This has to be, or the
yeah,
80s at least,
yeah, I'm sure.
you
I
know.
like everything fits that program, but so does every other goddamn movie he
Rob
made.
Zombie, yeah, that's
Like,
how he gets around
yeah,
that type of shit, you know.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, there's just something about like the characters. Like the only gripe I would say that I really don't care about is the victims in
Yeah, they're
this
all terrible.
are just, yeah, like except for, I will say, I
The
liked
Jamaican.
Joe Jackson,
Yeah.
because that's how I kept calling him, because I was like, that's the actor that played Joe Jackson in fucking the Michael Jackson biography movie back in the 90s. Holy
Oh,
shit.
not the
What a
Jamaican guy. You like the other guy.
no, the one
The
with like,
Jamaican guy?
yeah, the Jamaican guy with
Oh,
the
okay.
stringy hair. That's the
Yeah,
guy who
yeah.
played Joe Jackson.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, but what was his name? Panther?
Yeah,
And they
yeah,
kept calling him like Panda.
yeah,
Shit, I was just like, oh, this is great.
yeah.
Like, amazing. Um, and then the heads, like every head had a uniqueness. I will say, um, Doomhead was obviously just the best, like, protagonist character that Rod Zombie has created in a long time. Um,
Imagine talking so goddamn much you lost the one job you
I
had to
was gonna
do.
bring that up too, where he's sitting there giving that dialogue and
Yeah,
stuff, and like yeah, they're in that little house, and then
yeah,
like Roddy McDowell's just on the microphone going, all right, give it up, motherfucker, you talk
yeah.
too much.
Yeah, yeah.
Which,
And they paid him double to come handle the
right,
situation.
right, I like him. Death and Sex Head, like I thought that was a good combination.
So so the heads, the only head that I did not care about was the two clowns with the chainsaws.
Psycho and
Sick head, sicko head,
no,
or whatever.
Sicko, yeah, something like that. Sickhead
Yeah,
was the
it
little person.
doesn't. Okay, well, it doesn't matter because they are overdone and overplayed characters. The killer clown aspect, dumb. The little Nazi, fucking hilarious.
Right.
Doomhead, he was okay.
Yeah,
Again, I really liked that actor. I
it was
liked how
different.
I liked how little he I liked the fact that he had no sense of urgency.
Right.
He was just hanging out. Hey, I'm
Murder
gonna give
schools
you
in
time.
session.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you time to mourn your friend.
Right.
Feel free to leave. The gates are open.
Right.
Like all these things, because he knows he's going to get them,
Yeah, I'm
even though
good. I'm
he
gonna do
doesn't get
this.
them because he talks too goddamn much.
He didn't
But
get one. He got all of them technically except one.
well, we don't know because the movie ends before we see the
The
outcome.
obscurity. Well,
Um,
yeah.
I think that one shot of them coming in and he's super tall and she's super short,
Yeah.
that was cool. I don't really know how they did that because I know she's not that tiny compared to him. They made her seem
Uh,
like she came up to his waist,
right.
versus
Excuse me.
like where she probably comes up to like his sternum or
Yeah.
something. So like that angle or however they did that, that looked cool. Those characters I didn't find a lot of love for because he was just very basic and like, oh, let's play. I'm German.
Yeah.
Let's kill
Yeah.
each other.
That's
Why
the
was
bad
he
guy from
not the
Die Hard
Nazi? Yeah. Why was he
and Big
not
Lebowski.
why was he not the Nazi and the little Spanish guy something else?
Too
That's
fucking
like,
obscure. Like, yeah, we can't do that because he's German,
yeah, yeah,
kind of like too much of this. That's a little too
yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
nose,
But
you know.
the little
Little Spanish guy.
no, no, no,
Awesome.
the little girl she didn't like they were not threatening to me.
She
Like
had that
the
creepy part
clowns,
though.
yeah, she had good creepy stuff,
Hmm.
but the clowns were scary because they had chainsaws. The
Right.
little Nazi was just hilarious.
Yes,
Doomhead is
knives.
scary because he is not aggressive.
Right.
That's terrifying. When the
Right.
killer is not aggressive, that's terrifying. When he's not concerned, that's terrifying. These two, the idea is cool, but the in practice, watching them, I'm just like, eh,
I think what they got wrong was these two characters. Okay, she brings him in, and he takes him out.
yeah,
So, seduction, and then you know he clobbers them with a big club.
yeah,
Kind of deal. I think that's what they did, and they tried to do it in the movie, but they were separated, and that's why he died,
right,
and then she eventually died.
yeah,
But I think if you were going to show a scene that really like supports that idea, is that she should have gone out and bring him in, because if you notice, she her character is the one that brings him to the fucking like the
well, yeah,
stuff because she's at the gas station.
yeah. Well, the gas station is part of it.
Right.
Just like Hills Have Eyes, the gas station is part of it.
Yeah.
Like there's always that setup again, very stereotypically, that the gas station is part of it.
Right.
Like just like, Captain
House of a
Spaulding.
Thousand
Yeah,
Corpses.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because that's why that stupid fucking puppet show is in the house.
Right.
Like it's
Right.
showing you that that was all a setup.
Yeah.
Um, just in case somebody didn't get it. Uh,
Speaking of Spalding, did you see the reference to Spalding and Otis
I
with the
to
two
what?
chainsaw clowns?
Yeah. What
The one
about him?
chainsaw clown, he's got like the long scraggly hair and then the
Yeah.
inverted cross painted on his like skin
Yeah.
mask.
Yeah.
That's just, like looks like Otis. And if you look at the curly haired, he's got like Captain Spaulding makeup.
Yeah, I thought that, but I was just like, he's just probably not original.
Right.
So that's where my head went. I didn't think it was an actual homage. Um, but
I just like they sat there and that woman was tied down and shit fucking, and the two clowns are just hiding in the hay the whole time,
yeah,
like they're sitting there whispering like, no, we're not gonna do it
yeah,
yet,
yeah,
hold on,
yeah.
wait. But
Rob Zombie pulled every trick that he has beat to death already
right.
out. Like the Halloween thing, the stylizing, the goriness, the everything that when you first saw a Halloween movie or
Right.
a Rob Zombie movie, you went, wow. It was all of that after you've seen it 1,000 times. It was
Mm-hmm.
just like, oh, we're going to do this again. Oh, cool. We're doing that again.
Yeah.
Of course you did that because you've got no more tricks up your sleeve,
The
Robert.
oh, a scarecrow attack.
Yeah.
That's right from
Right.
House
House
of
of a
Thousand
Thousand
Corpses.
Corpses.
I
Right.
mean, he even steals other movies. Like you notice when they're sitting at the table and
Like
like
Running
we're
Man. He
eating.
stole the whole goddamn movie.
Well, yeah,
But yeah, continue.
but they're at the table, they're eating.
Mhm.
Like I'm not gonna die with an empty stomach. Oh, my
Yeah.
stomach's so empty, it's touching my back.
Yeah.
That. And then they pull the cloth back, and it's like, isn't that in Rocky Horror Picture Show? Like scene for scene
Yeah.
shit. But
That's what I'm
but
saying. This
yeah,
movie is so unoriginal. It's so many terrible things that have just been beat to death by him himself.
That's
It
agreeable.
just, it just like this, the fact that you're putting it at a B makes me mad because
But
when you
I
look
don't know.
at
It's
the,
just a
when you
nice
live,
movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
but even you are only saying, I like the bad guys. And that's the only reason I'm giving this movie a B.
Yeah.
So far, you have defended your B by I like the heads. And
Right.
that's all you've given me. And
Right.
if that's strong enough to make a B movie, then we need to reevaluate every fucking movie we've ever done. Because if you look at that tier list where all those other B, Evil Dead was a B. Like you're
That's
putting
because we didn't want to
this,
like keep
no,
cramming
no, no,
A's
no.
in there.
You're putting this dumb fucking like two Running Man 2.0, but also outdated Rob Zombie bullshit up with high class movies like The Exorcist and Evil Dead and movies that are in leagues of their own.
Right.
And you're putting this dumb fucking movie up there.
Hmm.
That would be like me going, yeah, 13 Ghost and Point Break are the same thing. They're both amazing movies.
You think
If
13 Ghosts is
you
part like
if
that?
you if you didn't have something to say about that
Okay.
in an aggressive manner,
Hmm.
then I would be sad. I would be like, why do you not give a shit about anything? Because no, the fuck they're not. Like I'm
Right.
trying to get a reaction out of you by putting those two at the same place, and you're just like, yeah, okay, man, whatever. Like,
Well,
no, take your fucking hippie hat off and defend something because they're not the same thing.
I like the
And yet,
movie.
and yeah, but it's not a B movie.
It is. It is.
Let's be
It's for
honest.
me.
It's
Yeah, it
at
is.
best a C movie.
Nah, nah, because I
Tier
just like
thing. Open the
the.
tier thing and
I don't have them up.
look at the rest of those movies.
Yeah, I know. Because, like we said when we were doing that tier thing, is like, we can't just keep loading A's in there. Fucking, like, if this now, in that retrospect, okay, if we are holding the same, like, if we were like doing like compare and contrast, like me, I'm grading this movie on what I saw, and
But
in my
that's
brain,
where we keep running into problems. You have to
I have
compare
no
this movie.
problem. It
No,
seems
no, no.
like
No,
where
no.
you keep running into
I
problems.
don't think you understand how you grade things. You grade things on a continuous scale.
Right,
So you're saying that this is as good as every other B movie, not that this itself is a B movie in its own contained little thing.
right,
You're saying that this is as good as all these other B movies.
right.
No. And keep in mind that based on like those that tier thing that we did, that was SAB.
Right.
So Evil Dead is technically a C categorized movie by those standards. If you just went A, B, C, technically it falls to the C category.
Okay.
You're telling me this movie is better than that.
No, Evil Dead would be an A. Like if I had like if we were doing Evil Dead next
So
week,
you're telling me that
Evil
this is
Dead would be an
almost
A.
Evil Dead.
No, no, this isn't anywhere near Evil Dead, like the first one, right? Because Evil Dead 2 would definitely be an S. Okay.
Right.
But this would be a B because of villains, ideas in the movie,
What ideas?
set points, huh?
What ideas?
Well, just a kind the way that the villains came off. I mean, I don't watch fucking like
But
Texas
that's
Chainsaw Massacre for the victims,
right.
you
I
know.
understand.
Okay.
But like again, you have said this is a B movie
Hmm.
because you like the bad guys' characters.
Right. I like the bad guys. But I mean, that's all Rod Zombie movies are, is like the bad guys are cool. Like there's
Yeah,
never
but I
been
feel like,
like a victim where it's like, oh, I
and
hope
this
they
is the
don't.
first time I will ever say that Rob Zombie did not hit it on soundtrack.
I
This
don't know
soundtrack
that
was
ending
not.
with fucking Dream On
That
playing.
was
That was
good.
fucking amazing.
But
And I love
normally that moment happens 3 or 4 times throughout the movie where you're like, fuck yeah, that song hits perfectly right now.
right.
There was
Well,
none of it.
he didn't soundtrack. And then he also didn't shoot this in like when we were bitching about the dream fat, like in Lords of Salem,
Mhm.
the music video
And
kind of
another
it.
dream sequence in
Yeah,
this
another
movie,
dream
just like
sequence.
all the other movies.
Right. But
Like it just, yeah.
there was
It's
no point where it felt like music video in this.
the whole entire thing is a fucking scary music video.
Well, that's all he does mostly. I mean,
I understand, but like the whole entire movie is essentially more so than any of his other movies is one long music video.
yeah, that's
This
what he
you could
knows.
turn this one you could turn down the music or the volume and play like Hillbilly Deluxe 2 and you've got the music video for the entire album
Right.
because the movie's only an hour and a half
Right.
or an hour and like 40 minutes or whatever.
Yeah,
So
it's a
like
short movie.
yeah, it felt like eternity. I checked to see how much longer this movie was like 3 times.
Yeah.
I was tired of watching it by the time they ran into Mother Firefly at the gas station.
It's
I
not
was
Mother
already
Firefly.
tired. Yeah, yeah, it was.
No.
Yes. Are you sure that's her?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Tommy Pickles.
Um, but yeah, by the time that happened, I was already tired. Like the best scenes in this movie outside of the LP and like the idea of Doomhead because he was very underwhelming.
Right.
The only other thing is when the dude busts in on the guy having sex while looking for the monkey mask.
See,
That shit
all
was
that
just a
stuff in the
funny.
van, I can do away with. I don't care
Well,
about
yeah, I
any
could
of
do
that shit
away
in the
with the
van.
whole entire goddamn movie,
Oh, I
but
understand that.
I'm trying to find something. And one of the things that I did laugh at was how nonchalantly he goes in, then he's just hanging out with them,
Right.
and the dude is like, "Get the fuck out," and the girl's just like, "Ha ha 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 ha,"
Fucking carnies,
like,
man.
yeah, like, but that the LP, and that's pretty much it. Like I didn't see anything
And
else.
that is where the D comes from. Correct. You
Yeah,
know, like once more, I love the setting. I wish they had more like I like the old building setting, but I really liked where the brother and sisters were kind of doing the betting, like that whole like looked like a cathedral, and it was like, man, I wish they would have continued this.
that was the National in Richmond.
Yeah.
That was just a theater. That's all
Right.
it was.
Right.
Because they're walking down the stairs from like the higher up balcony. Like that was just a theater. And yeah, that was cool. The the warehouse idea is cool, but also
It's not very cinematic though, the
it's
warehouse.
not cinematic. Freddy versus Jason showed us that. Like
Right.
that scene where they're fighting and like also what does that type of building do? Because it's not a factory. So what is it producing? What is coming out of that place when it's all just catwalks and pipes that are steaming? What does that building produce into the world? Like
Fucking
I don't understand. I've never understood that. I've seen those like
dog food. It
I
makes dog food.
I
That's where they can
guess
get rid of the bodies, I
like
guess, in
that
there.
settings always seems like I see it a ton on ships,
Yes.
like catwalks and steaming pipes and stuff. And that makes sense because it's the engine room.
Right.
But what does an entire 3 times the size of Walmart building
Oh,
with
that building is
just that?
huge. Right.
Yeah, that's why I said 3 times the size of a
Right.
Walmart because Walmarts are pretty big themselves.
Yeah.
Uh, but what does a building like that produce into the world other than pollution? Like, are these
Yeah,
just sitting around? Like, I don't understand what these buildings do, but
yeah,
it
you got to
was
throw that away out of your brain and stuff.
well,
What?
yeah, but it's just a funny thing that I
Okay,
thought
well, the
about,
day's
like,
over. Everybody got to get out of the building tonight.
it's
They're playing 31.
like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Fucking with the steam engine.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I just like,
all the all the heads work there during the day, and then they're like,
yeah.
okay, next shift.
Yeah.
Like they're sitting there drinking
Start putting
coffee.
on fucking makeup and
Yeah.
like
Oh man, I knew it. Today's gonna be a
they asked me if I wanted
uh
overtime.
that fucking one girl has been just in this fucking factory for an entire year,
Yeah,
you know.
just
Uh
strapped to a bed.
fucking bed. Yeah.
Um,
And yeah, like but Doomhead, that whole inner like, do you notice like the motherfucker doesn't blink when he's delivering his monologues and shit. Like
he,
he's
yeah,
aggressive. He's
yeah.
very like the way that he communicates, and it's such an aggressive like thumbs up
Well,
where
yeah, that's what I was mentioning earlier is about
right,
his calmness is terrifying.
right.
He's just very,
And then when he loses,
yeah,
everybody wants that as the Joker.
him.
Like yeah, well just that character that he created
Oh
for
yeah, yeah,
Doomhead, of him doing is like I've seen a lot of people talk about it on forums about like that's the best Joker next to like Heath Ledger,
yeah, yeah,
what he's creating.
yeah.
So I could see it. I think it's interesting.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. My favorite will always be though where he's putting the grease paint on and then, I'm not crazy, I'm in control. And then he starts punching himself in the nose.
Yeah,
It's like, oh yeah, now we get to see this character and shit.
yeah, right.
So, because all we can tell from the character beforehand was like, it's a
Yeah,
clown. I'm not no fucking clown, that shit.
yeah.
So, but I'm glad they expanded on him because that's when the movie really starts fucking going, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. When they call Doomhead is when
Yeah,
it kicks up a notch.
right.
Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like the movie was just such a swing and a miss.
No,
Doomhead, the little Nazi, those are the only two people that I found interesting in the entire movie. Um, the fake Rob Zombie, the on-screen Rob Zombie, all he does is whine in this movie.
yep.
The
He
entire
was better in
movie.
Lords of Salem.
Like share, yeah, because he was real in that movie.
Right.
Like he was some like if you haven't been in that position, you know somebody who has been in that position,
Right.
and you could feel that from him. In this movie, he all he did was whine, and that Spanish girl, like he was being
She
such a
died
dick.
early.
Well, yeah, but I'm just yeah, I know.
Oh.
So did the fat driver, but I was
Right.
just saying he was being such a dick to her for no reason. Like it just
Nah.
his character was so off-putting. Sherry was a pile of nothing.
Wasn't a
Like
pile of
the
nothing.
all just nobody in this movie like just
Yeah, we didn't
the little Nazi and
need,
Doomhead would have been all I needed out of this movie.
yeah. Like if you
And
filtered it to say, okay, victims are just going to be unknown teenagers,
yeah,
no power plant slash fucking dog food factory. We're going to do it in like a carnival setting, like have,
yeah,
carnival shit all
yeah,
around and then keep your heads there. I think those guys did fine with what they had to do, even though they must have been like the new hires or something because they didn't do shit. Kind of like the little guy, he got a good stab in, and but no one else really. Like I think at least one clown per should have at least got one victim every time. So, and then to the point where Doom had to be. Not even like called in. He was just the final boss. He just has to be the final boss.
Well, I feel like if every head got a kill, then it would have been Doomhead versus the blonde girl, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Like it because there was only five people to begin with,
Right.
and then the LP Nazi got like mostly one.
Right.
He got half a person uh with the stabbing the guy in the shoulder a bunch. He like pretty much took him out of the commission,
Right.
but also kind of not. So
Right.
like he got exactly the amount he could. And then the two clowns, they got the one girl that they laid as a trap. And then that's pretty much it. Like they
Right.
didn't really get anybody. So like they had to keep that going in order for Doomhead to have something to do,
Mm,
basically.
yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know.
But
I don't know.
he got the quicks in quick. He got the kills in quick once he came in. So it was
Yeah,
just like, all right, wrap this shit up. We gotta
yeah,
go.
yeah.
But as we've always said, hand this shit off to writers. You know, I think with a different writing
I
team,
don't
it could
think
have
that
been different.
I don't think that a writing team could have helped this movie. Because there wasn't any writing to do. This was all action. He picked a whole new crew of people for the most part to work with.
Right.
Uh, he basically took everybody from Lords of Salem and a handful more,
Hmm.
the more obscure people that he's used, and made them all front and center on this. But
Right.
I think that this movie was a big miss. He shouldn't have made this movie. And if he wanted to make the movie, he should have planned it out more. He should have done more, put more effort into it. None of it was necessary.
Yeah.
Like the movie was an hour and a half. He filled the first 20 minutes with the slash gas station shit. So then you get 45 minutes of actual action, and even that is super slow because
Hmm.
the little Nazi is just running around antagonizing them for the first 15 minutes when they're in the warehouse. So really you're getting like 25 minutes of action at the end of this movie
No.
from characters that are very weak, and the victims are even weaker. Like it all around was just a bad movie, bad shot, like
Mhm.
a swing and a miss.
Swing and a
So
miss. Well, that is understandable. I mean, from then yeah, he makes Three from Hell after this, and then he makes fucking the Monsters. So
I like the monsters more than I like this. It
I
was
can't remember the Monsters.